There are times where you're like, what is happening right now? Because there's 3 people that need to be taken care of. You and the 2 babies. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I talk about motherhood, I talk about pregnancy. We do things eco-friendly, natural, kind of granola, that kind of stuff, like cloth diapering and elimination communication and hypnobirthing and all sorts of stuff. I have filmed this video 3 times. I never do 3 like that. 3 times. And I'm redoing it because I just feel like it doesn't come across the way I want it to. So this video is the video that I wish that I had watched 6 months ago when I was pregnant with my second, because I have a 3-month-old and a 2-year-old. And I might have to stop in the middle because I just got her down in her bassinet, which is unusual. So we're just gonna see how long this lasts. I felt when I was having my second, I was super nervous about it. My first postpartum was so gnarly, and I think part of it was at the start of the pandemic. I actually made a video because this postpartum has been exponentially better for multiple reasons. I encapsulated my placenta. I've been working with a clinical nutritionist. I took a break. I don't know. It's just been better. Let me just tell you about our first 3 months. So when we brought Ezzy home, Aaliyah went through a huge transition, and she, I looked up all the things to say to her. So don't blame baby for things, make sure you have individual time with her. I bought a book that was bringing baby home, and I'm gonna be a big sister now, and kind of tried to prep her a little bit. Seth was like, why? I don't get it. Why do we have to do that? And I'm like, because they go through this crazy transition. So Aaliyah did pretty well, honestly. I guess some kids are uninterested. Aaliyah is interested to the point where she's too aggressive, and so she didn't really get jealous too much, but her sleep went bonkers, and her sleep was already not fantastic. We were laying with her until she fell asleep. Now it was an hour and a half of crying while we're holding her until she would fall asleep, and then she would go down. This video is actually sponsored by Huckleberry. So they are an app that tracks sleep. It looks like this, and you can see in the top left, you see Ezzy, and I click it and I hit Aaliyah. So for Ezzy, I track her sleep. I used to track her feeding in her diapers when she was little, or when they're sick. Someone told me about this app when Aaliyah was born, and I was like, no, I'm good. And I tracked everything by paper. The nice thing about this app, first of all, it's easy. So we'll go to Aaliyah. I can see that she's been awake for 3.5 hours. So if I'm doing wake windows, I can know how long she's been awake. Then I click sleep, and then I can just start the timer, stop the timer. Ezzy, I can go to Esme right now and see that she's been sleeping for 10 minutes. Sweet. Then there's more options. You can do solids, pumping, activity, medicine, temperature, growth. If you are a new parent, or you're like, what are their wake windows again? You can do the sweet spot where you pay for it, and it tells you based on their age and based on what you've tracked in the app, this is about how long they should be awake. So you'll look and it'll be 45 minutes till sleep. It's super helpful. It's really nice in the beginning when you can't sleep train, or when you're like, how long have they been awake? Oh, this is the best part. These are the night sleeps, and then all of her naps are in here. And then you can see a summary. So in the last 14 days, let's say, she sleeps an average of 15.5 hours, 4.5 hours napping during the day, 11 hours at night. Thank you, Huckleberry, for sponsoring this video, because I think that this app is super helpful, and I use it literally every single day. I highly recommend it. But her sleep went bonkers. Seth had paternity leave for a month, and then he was going to go back to work, and I was like, okay, we need to do something, because this cannot be how it is, because I'm not going to be able to do that. So a lot of the things that you do with your first, you just can't do with your second. I nursed Aaliyah to sleep for 14 months. I don't even remember. Sometimes it would take an hour to get her down. I'm not going to be able to do that with Esme. So already things are going to have to change. So with Aaliyah, I was like, I think we need to hire a sleep consultant for her, because first month was just kind of this haze of newborn stuff, but we co-sleep. I have a video on safe co-sleeping. I swear I get more sleep because of it. So Esme's sleep was fine. It was Aaliyah's sleep, the toddler, that was bonkers. So I hired this sleep consultant. In 10 days, we went from scream crying for an hour and a half to putting her in her bed and going downstairs. So I'll leave that all to a completely different video, but that helped so much. So once we got Aaliyah sleep trained, it made things exponentially easier. I knew that if Ezzy was losing it, I would just have to be up there for 10 minutes. And it's funny because with your first, or with my first, I don't know if I had postpartum anxiety or what, just listening to her cry, because we would try this thing where we let her cry for 5 minutes, then we'd go comfort her. 30 seconds in, I was losing my mind. I couldn't handle it. With Ezzy, she has to cry. I was just talking to a friend who's like, I saw your video that your second postpartum was easier. My first was easier. And she said that with this second baby, she has the anxiety with this baby, and she does more nursing, and the baby's not taking a bottle, so she gets anxiety leaving for too long. And I was like, those are all the things that happen with Aaliyah. So it's just kind of interesting how it can all work out. So Ezzy sometimes has to cry. We have to go to daycare, so we have to ride in the car, and she does not like the car. She scream cries. She's getting better, but she will cry most of the drive, and I try and comfort her, but like I can't do anything. When Aaliyah would cry like that, I couldn't handle it. I'd be like, do we need to pull over? Do I need to feed her? What do we need to do? And I couldn't concentrate. It was just knots in my stomach. Yeah. Getting the sleep figured out with Aaliyah was huge. Kind of prepping her ahead of time was huge. There are times where you're like, what is happening right now? Because there's 3 people that need to be taken care of. You and the 2 babies. Like yesterday morning, I woke up early to get some work done. Esme woke up, so I brought Esme downstairs. As Esme is filling her diaper, Aaliyah is waking up, and I'm like, okay, I woke up early to get some work done, and now I'm not even able to do that. I need to change your diaper, but first I need to go get Aaliyah. So I go get Aaliyah, and Aaliyah's like, I have to go poopy, and I have to go to the bathroom too. Bring Aaliyah downstairs. We put her on the potty. She's going poopy. I'm holding Ezzy. She's still filling her diaper. Okay, I'm holding Ezzy as I'm trying to wipe Aaliyah's butt. Then I have to bring Ezzy out here, clean her diaper, but then I get it on the diaper thing. So I'm cleaning off that. I'm cleaning off Ezzy. I'm changing her diaper. I still have to pee. Aaliyah's getting her undies. Just sometimes it's chaotic. Or you finally get Aaliyah in the car, the stuff in the car. You come back to grab the baby and she fills her diaper, or she spits up or whatever, and you're just like, oh my gosh. Sometimes it's literally like, what is the order of operations that needs to happen right now? Because there's so much going on. And so that's the whole like moms need self-care thing. Of course we do. But we don't have the energy for our own self-care after we've taken care of everyone else. And it is important to do it, and it's not just showering. Like that should be a basic thing. You're like, how am I going to shower? I don't know. I promise you just figure it out, and you need to talk with your partner or your mom if they're coming over, save for a babysitter. But like for me, when I shower, I shut the door because Aaliyah can't open doors yet, put her in the room. If she cries, she has to cry. That is going to be it for a minute, and then Aaliyah in front of the TV. Like 2 things that I don't love, but I need to take a shower. One side of me is like, then she has to cry and you're just gonna be done as quick as you can, but you need a shower. And the other part of me is like, but her cortisol levels are going up, panicking about that. And if you don't have a toddler that will sit in front of a TV, you need to communicate with your partner like, look, I'm gonna wake up 10 minutes early. We both need to wake up 10 minutes early so that I can get in the shower. And just like figure out how it's gonna work. That's a lot of it, is just trying to figure out things. But what I want to tell you is that you will figure it out. You will not be able to parent your first the way that you parent your second. And people told me that, and I was like, I'm going to. I'm not going to let my baby cry. I'm still going to do tummy time or whatever, and they're going to get baths, like those things. Esme gets half the tummy time that Aaliyah did, because today she threw a book on her. Like she took a book and she went, meh. And it was like a small book, as he didn't get dangerously hurt, but it landed on her tummy and she started crying. And I was like, your parent inside of you is like, what are you doing? Like, because you're mama bear to the infant, but you're also mama trying to gentle parent to the other one. You're trying to manage your own emotions to teach them, and it's so challenging sometimes because you're like, don't hurt the baby. You're also my baby and I don't want to be, can't we all just get along? It's hard. Why did I tell that story? Oh, tummy time. Aaliyah got tons of tummy time, rolling over, she's crawling. Ezzy can't get the same tummy time because if I put her on the floor, she gets a book thrown on her. I can't leave them in the same room together unless Ezzy's like in a bassinet, just to protect them from the toddler. And maybe your toddler's like not really interested in them. But Aaliyah first is like, she's so sweet, and she'll go lay down. And then she hits her, and I'm like, why are you doing that? So I have to stay close. So that's why I just wear Ezzy like all the time. I have this amazing carrier. I am now an ambassador for them. I kept bugging them. I was like, do you have an ambassador program? I love this thing. They're expensive, but I wear this every day. So it goes on like this. It goes on your back, but when they're little, it can go on the front. This tucks under their little butt, and then I wear them. There's also one that has a strap around the waist. They're both amazing. I wear Ezzy every day. She takes 3 to 4 hour naps in there every day. It's great for walks because we didn't get a double stroller. I don't know if we will. Carrying her has been really great because that keeps Ezzy comfortable. I can like engage with Aaliyah and do stuff with her. Aaliyah hated the carrier. So the 2 things that I want you to know when you go from 1 kid to 2 kids are, number 1, you will figure it out. Things are going to go wrong, things that you're going to stumble on, and then you're going to figure out how to resolve it. Please ask for help with your partner, or like I said, hiring a babysitter. We started daycare after Ezzy was born. Don't worry about what's going to happen, because it is going to happen, and then you're going to figure it out. Thing number 2, every baby is different. And I couldn't comprehend this. I was like, how can they be different? I'm going to be parenting the same, which you're not. I know what a baby does. It just, I don't understand how it could be different. They're different. And you, again, won't know until they come, and then you'll figure it out. Breastfeeding Aaliyah we had an oversupply because I used the Haka. So I had a baby and a Haka, and I was telling my body, hey, I've got twins, oversupply. Aaliyah had a tongue tie, but because of my oversupply, she was getting enough milk, so we didn't fix it. My nips were chapped. I made sure I had all the nipple butter for this time. I got little silver things to like heal your nipples. Never happened with Esme. And I didn't know that that was possible. You didn't have to like bleed. I was like waiting for the pain, waiting for it to come. And I asked my friend who's at IBCLC, International Breastfeeding. It's a lactation consultant, but like the next level. She's like, oh, if it's not coming, you're 2 weeks in. If you're past that and you don't have any pain, then you're in the clear. And I was like, I didn't know that was possible. But it's just so different. Everyone's situation is different. I'm not pumping because I don't have to send my kid to daycare. I don't have to go back to work, or we're still gonna be together, and I don't even own a pump. I never owned a pump. But that's like not the reality for 90% of people. Like they need to pump to make some milk to give to daycare or the provider, or they wanna leave their kid for more than 3 hours. Anyway, there are hard moments for sure. You will figure things out and it will be fine. The other huge thing, I forgot how much newborns sleep. Ezzy sleeps 4.5 hours during the day. So they're sleeping a lot, and not sleep that you need to like get them down for a nap. That starts at about 4 months. So I've got a personal theory. At 4 months, there's a 4-month sleep regression. I remember that being gnarly. That's when their sleep, from what I understand, changes from an infant sleep cycle of like awake or asleep to an adult sleep cycle, which I think has like 4 different awake, REM, whatever. And so I think that for the first 4 months, they're meant to be on you and they're in that awake or asleep, so that when they're asleep, you can be doing all the things and they just stay sleeping. So at 4 months, you can start like figuring out how to get them down for naps. And that to me was the hardest part. I would cry, I would get upset because I would take 45 minutes to get her down and then she would sleep for 20 and my whole day would be ruined based on a nap. I'm not looking forward to that, but I know it's coming. So this video I'll redo in a couple months and let you know how it's going, because I'm like, how do you put one kid down if the other one's still awake? Or like, what do I do? But I'll figure it out. I know I will. I'll tell you this quickly. The other thing was that I lost it just now. You know that things are just a phase. So the 4-month sleep regression is coming. I know that it's coming and I know that it's going to end. Where with your first, you're like, this is never going to end. I don't know what to do. So my sleep consultant said at 3 months, they can't soothe themselves. So I'm gonna go take care of her, but I hope this video is helpful for you. If you know somebody who's about to have their second child, send this to them, please. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.